The hardest part about throwing a secret party in the Alpha's house was making sure that Reese didn't hear about it. Trinity sent all of the Halloween decorations to Aunt Eve's house. Vincent agreed to pass along the word to the other parents in the Red Springs pack. None of them wanted to take their kids into the city to trick-or-treat, so this was perfect for them. Trinity knew that most of the pack didn't trust her yet, but if she could get about half of those families to come around, then they would be the first ones on her side. When the day came, Noah got Reese out of the house by 8 a.m. That gave Trinity and her team the whole day to set up. They kept most of the Alpha's house off limits, but downstairs was a Halloween extravaganza. The ballroom had food and candy, of course, but it also had game stations where kids could win prizes. Juniper set up craft stations where kids could create their own monsters from some of her designs. Paul, Cedar, and Carter turned the dining room into a haunted house, filled with scary animatronics for the big kids. Trinity put a cardboard cutout of Reese in his grumpiest alpha mode at the end of the maze to scare them. It was motion-activated and barked out, "What are you doing here?" Her friends yelped when they heard it, but it made Trinity laugh to turn Reese into just another prank for the night. "He's going to hate it," Vincent told her once he saw it. Trinity waved him off. "He hates everything. How much time do we have?" Vincent checked his watch. "Less than an hour. You need to change for the costume contest." Trinity smiled. This was her first real Halloween. So, yes, she had a costume too. "All right, see you on the other side." Juniper gasped when Trinity came into the ballroom. "You look amazing!" Juniper screeched. Trinity gave a slight turn so that Juniper could see the snow-white costume in all its glory. Since Trinity was so fair, it felt fitting to be the fairest of them all. The red cape made her feel a bit like Red Riding Hood, but the rest of the blue and yellow dress felt princessy enough. She couldn't help but compare herself to the Disney character and the model on the costume packaging. "I feel a little silly," Trinity admitted. "You look like a princess," Heather, Vincent's wife, gushed. She moved her hand from her pregnant stomach to nudge Vincent. "Tell her." "I must agree," Vincent added. "Our kids will say the same." He glanced around for them, but his 3-year-old and 6-year-old were already with Abigail, the cook, at the snack table. Trinity blushed at their praise. Thank goddess for the makeup to cover it. That's when Trinity noticed that her friends had changed into their costumes too. They all had vests in different colors and hats to match them. Her eyes welled with emotion before they started to explain. Juniper motioned to her outfit. "I'm dressed as Happy, one of the dwarves." Carter stood proudly. "I'm Doc." "I'm Dopey," Paul declared, coming up behind him. "Are you sure you want to admit that?" Trinity asked him. "Shut it, Astro," he said with a laugh. Cedar was in on it too. Her new friends mixed perfectly with her old. Heather perked up. "I'm the Apple. I haven't known you as long, but I wanted in on the fun." Her belly especially sold the costume. Not that Trinity would say that. Trinity beamed at all of them. "You're all so great. What is this?" "Wait for me!" Aunt Eve rushed into the room. Her plastic crown nearly fell off her head. "I'm the evil queen. Abigail's the old witch version." She pointed across the room, and Abigail was in an old cloak. Thankfully, no prosthetics. Trinity could hardly keep her tears in. "I can't believe you all coordinated your costumes to match mine." "This is your first Halloween ever. We wanted to make it special," Carter said. He threw his arms around her to pull her into a hug. Soon everyone joined in, expanding the hug and telling her how much they loved her. "You're gonna make me cry," she warned through a sniffle. Nikki laughed. "Good thing I'm a stylist. I'll fix it." Before she could make good on that, everyone's ears perked up. "They're coming," Trinity said. In a flash, everyone rushed out of the ballroom so they could greet the children and their parents. Trinity got to do the honors and throw open the large double doors to welcome them in. The first group stared at them in awe. Most pack members never went into the Alpha's house itself. The parents hesitated, and their little wolves only hesitated on instinct. "Come on in," Trinity greeted. "You're welcome. I promise." At that, they made their way closer for official introductions. Women with young children, like Heather, would stay and participate since they couldn't hunt with the kids. Some of the other parents dropped off their kids and left. All in all, 45 kids joined in, sprinting through the ballroom in their costumes. "Pin the bandage on the mummy!" one kid exclaimed. "Ring toss with spider legs!" another cheered. Between the games and the music, it was perfect. We really pulled it off. And Reese has no idea. Trinity bounced with excitement. "All right, clear stations." Trinity's team split up to work for their party. Trinity ended up working at one of the trick-or-treat stations, handing out bags of candy to kids who came up to her. It was close enough to the craft station that she could joke with Juniper and Paul whenever either of their stations got slow. At one point, Juniper swooned at how adorable one of the kids was. Paul's face lit up. "This could be us in a few years," he told her. "Maybe," Juniper agreed, leaning over to kiss him softly. The kids near them groaned at the sight of affection. "Don't groan," Trinity told them lightly. "You'll want what they have one day." "I know I do," she added in her head. As if Juniper could hear her sadness, her best friend slipped away from the craft table to stand with Trinity. "How are you and the Alpha doing?" she asked. Trinity gave Juniper the same answer she gave everyone. "We're adjusting, but nothing beats a mate bond." Juniper narrowed her eyes and lowered her voice. "How are you really? Because if you were in love, you wouldn't have to hide something like this from him." She wouldn't have to hide anything if she were in love. But she swore to Reese that she wouldn't let anyone know they weren't happy. That had to include Juniper, too. "Reese doesn't like having people in the house," Trinity explained. His first name still felt weird on her tongue. "Is that all? You promise? Or is this another I can't answer that situation?" Juniper asked. Her friend knew her too well. Grateful, Trinity pulled Juniper into a hug. "Thank you for checking in on me," Trinity whispered. "You're the best friend a girl could ask for." "And so are you. That's why you deserve to be with someone who makes you happy." Trinity needed a way out, so she went with something she believed to be true, even if it didn't feel true right now. She said, "The goddess wants us to be happy too. I'm going to be okay, Junie. I promise." Trinity gave Juniper one more big squeeze before letting her friend go. A few children fidgeted at the edge of the table waiting for treats. "Oh, hello there," Trinity greeted. One waved. "Hi, Luna. Can I have candy?" Trinity liked the way the kids called her Luna. It made her heart feel full. "Of course. Here you go." She reached for a bag, but that's when she smelt it. A hint of him with the smells of the party. She turned on her heels immediately. It bought her maybe 5 seconds before coming face to face with the growling Alpha himself. All sounds emptied out of the room as Reese towered above her.
"What in the goddess's name is this?"
"Oh shit. So much for being okay."
Don't let your excitement die! The full audio series is on the Pocket FM app. Tap the link in the description to install now.